In late December, Mexico 2021, I heard Z520 died. He was shot 10 times in the chest, 5 times for each gun. His heart stopped, but he was still aware. 6 to 8 hours later, he was dissolved in acid. They said they were Cartel Jalisco New Generation, but they said the killers didn't really seem like him. When he woke up, he was somewhere in a cloud in a game with a gun stuck to his hands. He died 9 times in the game before he arrived in my room as a shimmering mist. The energy arcs of your fingers when you touch him. The weapon he has is like a snow wolf. Aliens M418 firing milliamp light beams. I asked him to use the gun on me, see if he could affect the living, but I only felt eternally numbness in the back of my skull. He has forgotten what an AK-47 is, even though in life he killed 147 people, mostly with an AK. Apparently they have them in the game. When he was in my room, I felt hands touching me, but they felt like a woman's hands. Just got to figure out how you can touch the living. Maybe we can give him the Ebola virus so he can smear it on the living, get revenge for his death beyond the grave, turn into smoke and go into the door like Dracula. I advised him to find an AK in the game, cheap to see if it's got real bullets. Maybe he can carry it to the world of the living. Imagine that. That's what I always used to say. To quote GM Grimm, you don't understand want to die but you survive. You don't understand surviving but you're really dead. You don't understand that dead is only in your head. We've been thinking of ways to bring him back to life. Maybe the mist couldn't inhabit a light shell of a bubble body and make it move, even though one puncher and he's popped. Z520 is my spirit brother from another mother. We crush cat skulls, drink death, mixing ink, Picasso clown paintings, streets bend, circle in a square, South Warriors, double gas station, oasis, black and orange paintings will state this must be the place. In Kimura, black and orange means warning. Not sure what game he's in, but he keeps dying and returning to the start worrying about shit that never happened. Now I'm at the start worrying about shit that never mattered. To quote Sweet Teen, digital clowns. Maybe he still has a chance to become a real life Harlequin from 40k lore, live streamer, mass shooting, laughing all the time. Introduce the humans to the aliens with a 76-page manifesto full of song lines and talking about Ella and Los Zetas. Ella, Z17. I imagine Lana Del Rey. Sometimes when I put her up on graffiti I write Z17 as well. I think Z520 thinks about Ella from Canada, who makes songs about the drug game but never plays them to hardly anyone. I wrote a song called Imagine If They Could Hear Just One of Her Songs. Want to know the type of person Z520 is? Quote about Ella from Canada. He said, if just one of my brothers could listen to just one of her songs, just once, that'd be enough. I'd die for that. The song I meant was Joanna Newsom, Only Skin, in traditional English, thinking of Los Zetas. And why would you say that I'm the last one? The last one. Z91, I'm thinking about flying from New Zealand to Mexico, but I need some thousands, and I'm trying to come up off a welfare check. Maybe if we build the network big enough, LPMGs can help. Don't confuse Z520's 147 kills with the 147 bullets that killed 22 people, placed by a man in a Sinaloa snitch hit squad. Now he's free with the AK and $2 worth of gas. I said to him, send me your story. He said it's boring. I said at least make a good 3-minute song. Our PMGs could make it. Nothing personal. Trying to stay alive. They never thought they would make it without dying or getting busted. My information network about Mexico has 2 to 3 El Chapo Guzmans. State his wife pulling the cartel strings while operating his social media while he's incarcerated. Other videos state Guzman's wife doesn't even know he's a drug dealer. Different heights, different bills, different faces. The only real footage I think of El Chapo is the handsome man in the fawn jacket. My information network states El Mencho is one of the most wanted men in Mexico, $10 million bounty on his head. They say him and CGNG now import 50% of the drugs into the United States. The footage I've seen is of 40 armed vehicles, red and blue flashing lights labeled CGNG with 150 armed men shouting El Mencho, El Mencho. He's probably just some drug dealer they hate and using him as a scapegoat. Where are these paramilitary armed men coming from? Could it be the other side? The killers of Z520 said they were Cartel Jalisco New Generation, but Z520 after death said he doesn't think it's really them because it didn't seem like them. Look up Los Zetas Bart Simpson and click on the 14-minute long video for a leak from the other side. Apparently there are 2 Bart Simpsons, one with the droplets on his forehead and cheeks and one with the tattoos that continue on the other side of the eye like a clown. Send the representative from Earth, Rosario Reda, a teen narco who's killed more people than he can remember. Apparently he's been crossing over to Mexico since he was 13 to go to the cantinas, buy pills and get drunk. According to the kid leaking, you can't travel freely like you can in the US. There's cheap points everywhere and you have to have your license and ID or you get pulled over every day. He also seems to think that Juarez is on the US side of the border. Apparently they put 5 years in news reporting about the violence. Rosario Reda, accomplice, got promptly murdered after 2 days in Mexican jail because they couldn't risk him testifying. The leaker think Los Zetas killed him and Los Zetas disowned Bart Simpson for not killing the right person he was ordered to when he threw 4 grenades into a nightclub in Monterrey. Apparently on the other side you can use US ID, but Rosario Reda couldn't use hers because he was wanted for murder in the United States. He got pulled over with no ID and the cops found it highly suspicious. He ended up getting 70 years for 2 murders he confessed to in Mexican jail, even though he's admitted to 32 plus murders / killings. My conspiracy states that Los Zetas are the peacekeepers, now Mexico's most hated, known for murder, pity, kidnapping, extortion and now cannibalism. Some say I make angels out of devils, but I know there's more going on than meets the eye. Apparently they're giving out white flashes from the helicopters that stalk us. I saw genuine footage labelled Sinaloa vs Los Zetas, night saturated footage interspersed with black flashes with the bodies of convoy of paramilitary marines and the helicopters with searchlights in the air. Tried to post it but my copy-paste wouldn't let me. A few days later they put me in the psych ward for 5 weeks for coming out with conspiracies. The 147 bullets, 147 years, accused of putting them away that long by snitching. That's killed 22 people, got set free by Sinaloa. Apparently he drove to Jalacinco, a town he doesn't know, with $2 gas to left and the AK. But when I talked to him, days have passed for him. It was only hours for me, so maybe he's on the other side and probably can't get out. Kid from the other side thinks Warriors is Texas side of the border, so maybe if he drives to Warriors, things will normalise. I got a stolen hardback book I stole under the gaze of the helicopters with a leaked audio file that suggests aliens exist, and for the most part, apart from the spiritual parasites, they are just like people. The most advanced ones think the universe is only 12 billion years old, not 13.8 billion like our particle accelerator and radiation tells us. They believe in relativity, but also it is possible that we are all moving potentially faster than the speed of light in individuated time bubbles. When the bubbles meet, the laws of the universe stay the same, but actual measurements of time add up differently. Maybe that explains how the Nike Red Soul snitch hit squad killer retired thinks days have passed when it's only been hours.